I can, but you still look dark.
What's up, y'all? Here we are again for part two. I am your host, Peaches, and with me I have my guests, Pecan Tan, Miss Alex, BZ, and AV. Now we did have a sixth individual, but he's a little indisposed at the moment, so we're gonna just move on with the show as normal. So how y'all been doing since the last time we talked?
Good.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Ready for the holidays.
Ready.
Yeah, me too, me too. Auntie, you been role playing again?
Of course. Of course, baby.
This is the last time we was on here.
Yes. Got
So
to
but yeah,
prove.
so today, of course, our show is just a part two of what we kind of discussed last time. Um, this time around we're gonna do things a little bit different. We're gonna shake it up a little bit. So it's more about the qualities and qualifications for dating versus marriage. And of course, we got married folks and used to be married folks on here. And so we wanna basically start kicking it off. Like what do y'all think? What would be some of the qualities you would think would be different from dating versus marriage? Pecan 10, I'm gonna start with you.
Now, repeat that question.
Oh, I'm sorry, sweetie. I said, what would be some qualifications or some qualities that you would think are different from dating versus marriage?
Okay, with
Like,
dating qualifications, I want somebody that I would want somebody that's honest and show their emotional side. Some men don't show their emotions. Um, versus being married. Um,
maybe like some I know sometimes we can like I know in the dating scene we might just be looking for like mostly physical, and then we may not worry about some of the things as far as like finances and things in the dating part.
Right.
But
It's all going to it's
yeah, I was
determined
about to
by
say,
my purpose. Am I dating to marry or am I dating because I need a little bit? It's different.
It's facts.
right. So what about you, VZ? What was you looking for in the dating scene versus now, and now that you married?
Well, once you reach that point, you're no longer looking for anything. You know what I mean? Like you have an
True.
expectation. Um, I feel like that's the tough part about this dating thing though, is that people like to say things like go into it with no expectations and whatnot, but you have to have expectations and make them
Mm,
clear. You know what I mean? Because yeah, you respect is something that should be understood, common sense, but we all know common sense ain't common.
that part.
You know what I mean? So when you find yourself in the dating realm arguing with somebody about something as simple as respect or honesty, that usually it means that there weren't any boundaries set up. You kind of just you want to believe that you're dating with a purpose, but there's no way if you are involved with somebody who 2-3 months into it, you have no idea where you stand. You know what I
Right.
mean? So it's really for me, it's just about meaning what you say, saying what you mean, and I'm making my intentions clear. You make your intentions just as clear. And if we're both in this for the same reason, as far as trying to figure out if this is something we can pursue, by the time we get there, it's time to do the real work, which is just, that is involved with being a married couple. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's the real work. So,
Right. Yeah, I can see how, the expectation, like and one thing I can't stand for people to say is, you can't expect you out of other people. And I'm like, why not? Why not? If I give myself wholeheartedly to a person, why I gotta, basically shortchange myself with my expectations of a
Because
person.
you don't. You can always just keep it moving. Because
Right.
in these days it's hard to find you in other people. You might find a few things about them
Right.
that are a lot like you, but if they're not the things that are most important to you, keep it moving. I'm not gonna shortchange myself for nothing.
Right. How about you, AV? Like, what are some things you be looking for while dating?
Shit, I be realistic, man. Like this day and age, man. Like we were talking about a little bit earlier about how this technology age is kind of speeding everything up. So it's like even in this dating phase, dating age is like you can't go by the rational standards no more. You can't go by what you used to look at as dating back in the day. You kind
Mm,
of got to go at a new age approach where, personally, me, what I do is I just allow people to express themselves as they self, right? And then there's no really prejudgments. It's just a decision on me where is this something that I genuinely like or something that I just genuinely can't deal with? You know what I mean?
right.
And it's like I try not to make somebody be something that they not. I just really truly want to see how you are by yourself. And then once we get that good connection, we understand how you are by yourself, then it's really just on my end just to make the decision if I want to
Mm,
keep it around or keep it moving. You know what I mean? And it's like it's a lot of pressure, man. Like especially like I don't even look at the marriage the same nowadays because it's like we get married for love, but we understand that love changes, and then it's like it's too much of a comparison nowadays. So we feel like
right.
if we having little issues in our relationship, we doing it wrong because such and such looks so beautiful on XYZ. You know what I'm saying? And it's like
Right.
we don't really understand what we want individually, let alone what we looking for in somebody else.
Right.
So that's why
Yeah.
like it's hardest.
Yeah. It's so funny because I actually just told somebody the other day, like, how in which one thing about it. So, like, good, wholesome women, we look for men to follow through on what they say they're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
Even if we saying, you know what, don't worry about it or whatever, but you steadily said, no, 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 I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this. We looking like, okay, now you done said
Mm-hmm.
you gonna do this. Now we looking for you to do it, and if you don't follow through, now we're looking at you like you're a liar.
You
And
said wholesome
I
women,
had
wholesome women,
okay, maybe not
women.
wholesome
Period. I think.
women. Period. You right. I
Yeah.
mean,
If I,
I was just
let's
saying,
say solid. Let's say solid. We won't say
we'll
wholesome.
say solid. Okay, you
I
right.
don't
You
think
right.
nobody on here is wholesome.
Yeah, no, I ain't no. I do have 3 under my belt. I done pushed out 3, so I mean, um, but no, like, I had to tell the individual that, the way in which I have people around me, like my friends, if something's wrong, they are automatically starting to trying to figure out what's the solution, what can we do to fix the situation, versus somebody that just talk. I can't stand somebody to just talk. And I explained to this person, I'm not saying and how you operate is wrong. Somebody else, it will be A1 to them. But for me, it's not gonna work because one thing about it, I we have enough going on in the world as is in our day-to-day lives.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing I'm not gonna do is be with somebody that's gonna create more problems than what it's worth. Like if I'm sitting up here telling you I'm having an issue and you can't problem solve with me, then there's a whole problem in itself. We can't even go past a certain point. That means you only good for a fun time.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, so now I know sometimes like when it comes to like for I know men are typically more physical and is physical attraction important to y'all? Like
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Zan,
Can't
what you sipping on? Don't be trying to sip. No, no,
look,
tell it.
you gotta be
Said
physically
holy
attracted.
water.
I'm sipping holy water.
She said holy.
Sip a little
I
lemon juice.
asked her, was it good juice or bad juice?
She said good juice or
Jesus
bad
turned
juice.
water into wine. It's holy water.
Facts.
I mean, she not wrong.
No.
She not wrong. She not
Physical
wrong.
attraction. Physical meaning what meets my eyes. Yeah, right off the bat. But if what you have to say out of your mouth, that's probably it might turn me off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What I see might draw me to you, but what you say can.
For sure. What?
I'm gonna tell you that I think it is like a difference between dating and marriage when it comes to that,
Mm-hmm.
because what initially attracted you to a person, over time you get used to seeing that same face, being around that same person. So it becomes, you still can find your mate attractive, but I think it also is put kind of on the back burner. Typically, I know for me, I don't know about, I know some for some men, they want you to stay fit and friendly, but
I mean, you want to maintain whatever it is that you presented to them in the beginning. But now, if you start in the beginning and you are attracted to it, don't say nothing to me about it later, because you knew this is what you was getting in the beginning. You know a little belly when you got with me. So now,
little belly.
Hey, when you lay down, it lay down.
Yeah, like, ain't nothing wrong with it.
But you also gotta realize, I mean, like, most people have to realize that over time things change. Like, even with age, and especially for women when we have children, like, things start shifting a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And I know that I think I saw something on TikTok where there was this one guy that was saying how he was upset how his wife let herself go after she had a baby. And I was like,
what did he do to help her to keep herself together?
That's what it don't sound like he tried to do anything. But
So
at the same
if she
token,
had the responsibility of the household, the baby, and everything else on her, then what did he do? How did she end up that way?
well, I mean, to me, regardless, if you having a human being, like, that in itself should make you as a person cherish that individual. You know what I'm saying? Even more, because it's like this person risked their life to bring a child in the world for you, basically. No.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I'll stay out of that part because I don't totally agree with that.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's a joint decision.
Definitely a joint decision.
True.
Which part you disagree with, Alex?
With her saying that this person brought another person into the world for you, that's a joint decision. So I start there, and just saying that I mean, I understand, like, we go through a thing when we first have our children or whatever, but then it's up to you to still develop that identity, redevelop the identity of you outside of just being somebody's mama.
Let me ask the ladies here, is it safe to say that y'all are your own biggest critics?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think that's pretty common with people, but women is different, because I think I've always felt like y'all have a lot of pressure from the outside world, socially, social media, right? Like you get put on to certain trends and stuff. You want to try it. You know what I mean? Like, it's just different with women. But I always say, first of all, I saw that post about the guy talking about his wife lost herself and all that after giving birth. That's crazy.
Right.
But I look at it from a different angle too, though, to play devil's advocate. A lot of times women, if we're going to talk about dating or marriages, sometimes y'all are so critical of yourselves that it comes off as a lack of confidence. Yeah. So sometimes you can project something different to your Instagram, your social media, what have you, your Facebook. Like, it's always your best light. But behind closed doors, I got to deal with you always complaining about what's not what. Right. And that takes a toll on a man in that equation, because if we having a conversation about physicality, chemistry, all of that, and a man that is aware of the fact that things do change, he doesn't need you always talking about how much weight you need to lose. If you're not going to do anything to lose the weight, don't tell me about it.
Yeah.
Right. I'm accepting you flaws and all for who and what you are. It seems to me that the outside is getting to you. That's the pressure, because if I'm your man, especially if I'm your husband, my word should be law. Like, if I tell you good with me, you know what I'm saying? Like, now, again, that's not to say that you can't want to get yourself together, but get yourself together and just do it. Lead by example. Don't keep telling me what you finna do and you never do it. That just comes off as a lack of confidence. And what it does is it can have your partner look at you with a little bit of resentment. Right. Because it's like, you talking me to death about this or that, but you're not doing anything to counter it. That's the problem.
Right. You know what? And it's funny that you say that, because, being completely honest, you have also those men that already feel like they don't necessarily qualify for a certain type of woman, right? And so they feel like, oh, well, I know you're talking to me. I know you said you were interested in me, but I got all this stuff going on. How is it possible? And it's like, look now, I ain't about to be doing the insecurities now. If you're gonna be insecure, especially, you know, because I've had a situation where a guy literally was very insecure about him sweating a lot. And I was like, okay. So, and he would always talk about how, you know, other guys were noticing me. Why you don't notice the other guys noticing you? I'm like, but I'm on a date with you. So what you mean? Like, so, and sometimes, so I can see where you're coming from with it.
Yeah, well, it's the same thing in reverse. Y'all can easily get turned off by that type of thing from a man.
Right.
Like, I mean, it's the same thing. It's a lack of confidence that comes out as like insecurity. I always say this: look, if that woman gave you her number, she chilling with you, stepping out with you, whatever, she done already accepted whatever flaw you think you have.
True.
Because she done already peep game. Like, y'all are ultimate game peepers. Like, look, you start dating a man, he tell you what he do for a living. Y'all on the Googles. Y'all gonna Google it to see what kind of category he's in. Not to say that's the end all be all, but you want to know what you're working with.
Right.
Y'all gonna do some investigation, right?
Right.
And so, like, when a man moving like that, that's one thing I know for sure will turn a woman off. Like, you know, one of the top things is that lack of confidence, always complaining, woe is me. She don't want to hear that either. It goes both ways, for sure.
What you was about to say, Pecan saying?
No, it wasn't me.
Oh, okay. I thought it was somebody else. Okay. But yeah, so yeah, I mean, as far as like, you know, insecurities are concerned and things like that, you know, we like it's enough being put on us on a day-to-day. So, you know, it is hard trying to be your own cheerleader and then having a significant other try to point out flaws. Like I even had somebody tell me to my, oh yeah, you know, you still look good even though you got acne scars, and I'm just like, well, damn. All righty then. All right. that ain't no compliment, player.
you pointed out some stuff that I ain't even asked you for. But moving right along.
That part.
I agree with that. Now, if you look in the mirror, you okay with what you see, and then your partner reinforces it on a different level, that's game changing for you. That's if you have that right mindset. I know it is for me because I'm single, but I'm not. So, and there's a little thing that I used to have a issue with, and I'm okay with it now. And my person is always like, always so. I'm like, okay. So you know now, okay, I'm with it.
Hold on, Alex. Hey, Alex, let me ask you a question. Mm-hmm. What's single but I'm not mean?
Meaning that I'm a widow. Okay. It means that there is no man present in my home. I'm not married.
I got you.
That's what I mean. I'm not married.
Okay.
I want to ask VZ. Okay, so like, what would be at least for us single folks, like even for the for the single gentlemen on this panel, like what would be the suggested questions that you would recommend us single folks ask? Because you know, with you and Pecan Tan being married, like y'all know like what is going to be sustainable for a relationship, and you know what I'm saying. So what would be some suggested questions like we could ask to know that, you know, people are legit in what they say
for
or
me,
what they present rather?
Yeah, for me, I don't subscribe to like there being any like set questions or things you gotta. It's always relative to like the person who you're dealing with. You should have enough information that you've gathered by the time y'all step out on your first date, right? That, because that's the whole thing. We got to date. We got to get back to dating. That's what's missing. Right. I mean, that's just the elephant in the room that isn't being addressed enough, is that people aren't actually going outside and dating. And it could be a various amount of reasons. I understand the economy, folk don't got it like that, whatever it might be. But if you ain't got it like that, you don't need to be pretending to be dating.
True.
That's the thing. Like, you just need to chill until you come into your season of like, You know what I mean? Being able to, stay on your feet, be on your feet and stay on your feet, because you can't incorporate somebody else into this, what you're going through, because you can come into somebody else's life and be a liability. You know what I'm saying? So I just think it's very important to like base your questions or your get to know around who's in front of you. And I think it's like a dance. Sometimes, we got rhythm, right? Like we can kind of know what step to take next because it's just naturally in us, right? Whereas sometimes our counterparts don't know what step to take next. That's why it look funny.
Oh,
right?
Hold on, I'm bringing CT in.
Oh,
my bad.
What up, bro?
What's going on, man? I'm sorry. I'm late.
Flapping butt cheeks.
Hey, start calling me out, bro. He calling me out before I even get in the studio.
Look, you got glitter.
Where that? On this side?
He keep rubbing it. He keep rubbing him. I don't know if it was butt cheeks.
Glitter, boy.
Got that glitter.
Hold on. Let me watch.
You know that sweat.
What up, black people?
Yeah.
Make sure we got everybody. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we good.
I know he ain't coming in taking roll call.
My bad. I hope I wasn't holding nobody up, man. My bad.
You good. Go ahead, VZ. My bad.
No. So I guess it's just whatever you feel like is gonna move things along, like progress. Because I feel like that's the same hole that people get themselves caught up in when they do all this incessant text messaging, small talk, and not really moving the needle forward.
Right.
Like at a certain point, it got to be like, look, bro, you either going, to get off the pot. You know what I'm saying? Because it's too much. We ain't got the kind of time to be, just chit chatting and not really moving along. We both said we're here for a purpose.
Right. So what would have been like? What was some telltale signs for you where you knew your wife was your wife?
I mean, I don't want to sound too cliche, man. It was really her spirit. Like her spirit, it radiated. Yeah. Like if people who follow me and see my content, like my wife has a very, I've never seen anything like it. Like I that's my wife. I'm supposed to say that, but I'm telling you, I've never seen anyone who is so selfless, and I picked up on all of that early on because she just showed me these little signs of it. And that's why when we talk about potential, and I talked about this on a live the other day, the word, like I'm watching the game right now, or the game is watching me. But when you talk about potential, that potential is based on seeing something first, right? So like if this is the NFL, I had to have seen you in college and saw how you move, how your technique. That tells me that you have potential. So if I do my job as a coach and I bring you on this team, I can help you maximize your potential. So us as humans, what we like to say is we talking about somebody's potential after a couple of weeks of knowing them. They haven't shown you anything for you to be talking about potential. What are you basing this on? Other than this idea of what you want them to be because of the package. Because to your original question, Peach, is always about what something looks like first, right? So we try to take this, what checks off all our boxes physically, and we try to force what we like physically into what we like emotionally and mentally. And a lot of times they don't align. And that's why people end up in these toxic situations, in these 6-month things with no definition, stuff like that. That's how it happens, because we're not establishing the groundwork early on and actually paying attention to somebody's spirit and not just what they look like and these words that are coming out of their mouth.
Right. Alex, I'm gonna ask you that same question. I know you a widow and everything like that, but how did you know that your husband was your husband when you met him?
It's kind of what he said. It's like spirit thing. It's a feeling. It's a. I think I said it before. It's like a waiting to exhale moment. You end up in somebody's presence that just give you the goal to just be free, be yourself, to just let go. It's a type of protection that you just feel when you're with them. It's unmatched for anything else that you have ever known. You can't really put a title on. I think Vija probably did the best. I think it's more of a spiritual thing. It's like you just feel it. Yeah, it's like you just know that you know without being able to put anything on it. And it wasn't until we were actually in the dating phase and heavily dating, and you just had time to sit back and observe.
Hmm.
But it's a feeling, and it's something that I never had with anybody else. Um, it's unmatched.
Okay. Okay, that's what's up. I mean, look, I'm ready to feel that too, because I think a lot of as far as from a woman's perspective, we want to be able to like exhale, like and actually feel safe in the presence of a man versus I mean, like, well, financially, physically, emotionally, like we want to be able to just be able to breathe. I don't know, like for the two single guys up here. Well, I don't know, because this one right here, on the other hand,
Baby, the
I
way
don't know
he
what
wiping
he over there.
he
That
wiping
boy
the wiping, baby.
got a little.
Man,
He
listen,
got a little
bro.
glitter on his cheek. I don't know.
Worry about your own space today, bro. Worry about your space, bro. I ain't did nothing.
Look, that's
I'm here for color commentary
color commentary.
and support for
What
all the
is it
married
that
folks.
what is it that y'all like? What will make y'all know? Do you know if you can never like feel I don't know, like what they were saying. Like, do y'all think that, or can you put it in the description of what it is that y'all need to feel in order to know that you got a wife on your hands?
Shit, for me personally, I just be thinking like I need to feel like there's no more looking after I find you.
Mm.
If I feel like we together and then you just you still missing in some aspects and you not able to really because I talk, you know what I mean, and it's like I'm not one of these people that's gonna sit here and pretend like we perfect or anything like that.
Of
I'm
course.
just a person that's like to sit here and point out the obvious. If I'm slacking in this area and you're good in this area, you can help me in this area. You slacking in this area, I'm good in this area. I can help you in this area. But that'd be effort behind it. You know what I mean? We can't just sit here and pretend like we got each other back if we're not putting no effort behind it. So it's like it's a level of just looking for that little missing link. You know what I mean? It ain't have to be perfect, but it can be workable. You know what I mean? And it's like willing to work it. That's the major um, telltale sign for me. Like if I don't see like we more than just in love, quote unquote, and we see this as a business, as a partnership, as a commitment, as a lifelong growth partner, you know what I'm saying? Then I'll be with that. But if I feel like we just together just to be occupied in space, occupied in time together, or we've been dating for so long that we still stuck together, that's not like happening
Yeah.
for me, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think a lot of people get stuck on it.
Just get stuck. What am I working for so long? You don't want to start over? I don't want to do
Right.
all that.
PK and what about you? What was your defining moment that let you know that that man was gonna be your husband?
Well, I knew that my husband was gonna be my husband because he just the way he just was so. It was like a safety net, and he put everything before him. He take care of friends, and I used to tell him a lot. I said, "You do too much," and it was like he's just y'all. I'm nervous. I swear.
Oh, this okay, it's all right. You know we got you, auntie.
Yes, but
Let
anyway,
me
he
let me
is.
oh
I was about to ask him, can I borrow $40?
Yeah, I sent. Give me your cash app.
That's for everybody in this room.
I know, right?
That boy
uh-uh.
lost good
No,
amount today.
like Visa said, he explained it great. Like spiritually, I'm talking about. He's just. It was like no other. I never had a man like him. Most men, when you first start dating, um, they always the ones I've had in my life, they looking for you to do something for them, and it was always like when me and him started going out on dates. I used to always open the door. He would say, "I want to open the door for you." I wasn't used to that. I wasn't used to somebody doing stuff like that for me, And I used to think that it wasn't real, at first, because I'm like, I never had anybody do this type of stuff for me. And he is a genuine person. When I met him, my daughter was in the 12th, and my son was in the 11th grade. And when I was in the hospital, me and him had just been talking for 2 months, and him and his mom made sure my children got to school and back. And I was in the hospital for a whole week. They made sure they were fed. He took on that responsibility like a real
Wow.
father. I say is men that are dads, and is men that are fathers, and they don't have to be your biological child. I saw that, within him, and my children now, they respect him more than they respect their own father. And he's just a good person, and his mom is too, a great, great person. And it was like no other. Like I said, when I told y'all before the last, in the last episode we had, that he stayed in the intensive care with me, hiding every time a doctor or somebody would come in, and I knew then he was gonna be my husband because he cared about my health. And even my kid's father, even though we was together 13 years, he never cared about my health because I started having high blood pressure when I had Chris. And so I've been dealing with high blood pressure since I was 17 because I had him when I was 17. And their father he didn't even care. Still wanted to have sex when I was sick, all types of stuff. But my husband,
Yeah.
he take care of me like I'm a doctor, like he's a doctor. And
Yeah,
and I love him to death. I feel for my niece because I know she had a great husband, and they put me in the mind of each other how great they was. But my niece, it's gonna be hard for her to find somebody like him because he treated her like a baby. That's what it's gonna be hard for her. It
Ooh.
really is.
Who only y'all eyesight? Trust me, behind closed doors, he did not treat me like a baby.
Oh, you lied.
Oh.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, he did a good damn job because I.
That's not what I mean.
He was selling the
Nah,
he
she
was.
she talking about got her swinging from chandeliers.
Oh man,
The ceiling
No,
fan.
I never said that.
Auntie had
And
it sounding so good. I
and
thought she was catfishing.
what you say?
You said what?
I thought she made it sound so good. I thought she got catfished at first.
Oh,
Oh, you so silly. Nah, she was saying that when she said that he didn't treat her like a baby. She was talking about she was swinging
We
from
got kids
ceiling
watching
fan and
this
stuff.
on YouTube, man.
kids should be watching this on YouTube. Children, if y'all are watching, y'all need to start.
I think it's a 9-year-old here. I know my nephew watching.
Oh Lord.
Hey, Peach, can I ask a question to the fellas?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
So, what do y'all find that there are like, is there a common theme with your, whatever your dating life looks like with women, like why you may withdraw? Is that a common theme, or is it different with everybody? Like, or are you seeing like a trend among the single women who y'all have dealt with, conversed with, what have you?
Like, do they got the same? Like, you come across the same like type issues?
Yeah, like tendencies. Yeah, like
Yeah,
things
yeah.
make you fall back.
And it's crazy because I'm kind of encountering that a little bit, right? So it's like, I really do feel like it all goes back into self-identification. You know what I'm saying? I find personally the things that irritate me the most about a female is the things that just doesn't sit right with me in general. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I notice if you lazy and you have a real lazy outlook on everything, that's an instant turnoff to me. You know,
Right.
and then it's like we in this microwave generation where everything seemed handed. So it's like I feel like you come across that a lot more frequently than anything. And then the other thing that kind of throws me off a little bit too is I don't know if it's just me or I'm crazy, whatever, but I don't like it. Can't be just too nice and it can't be too mean. Like you got to have a level of resistance. Like I can't be with you if you like a yes person, but you also can't be with you if a no person. You know what I'm saying? Like it got to
Yeah.
be
Balance.
Yeah, a level of resistance. You know, I don't want to feel like I can trample
Right.
all over you, but I don't want to feel like you don't respect me. You ain't hearing what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's a give and take. So that's why I feel like it's kind of hard to find that balance.
CT, you over there struggling?
Huh?
You don't throw a few back and know what you doing.
Oh, I'm
He
good. I'm
busting
trying to.
his ass.
I know,
Don't
right?
tell on me.
What about you? Go ahead with that question. Do you see a common consensus with when as it relates to dating?
No, I don't. I ain't trying to build a bell. I mean, a person, a person gonna be who they are. Just like I know who I am. I f up all the time. Sometimes I don't bring a lot to the relationship. Sometimes I'm slacking. That could be for the other person too. I know we're not perfect. You know what I'm saying? So I give people slack. You know, sometimes it don't work out. Of course, I'm not married yet. So like the previous question you guys asked about if you know that's your wife. It been two of them that I thought was my wife that I was wrong as hell. But you know what I'm saying? You know, I right now I'm just enjoying life, man, because I've been to that part where things have got serious and then it all came crashing down. So I don't have necessarily I don't have expectations anymore, I guess. So I guess you can call me a nomad. I'm a free spirit. So
You
if
just
it
having
happens,
fun right
boom. If the wind gonna blow today and them leaves gonna go out, you know what I'm saying, in the air like that, cool. But if not, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I've been to that side of the table and then I've been on this side of the table. So at this point in my life, you know, I'm cool with whatever. Like, you know, I don't hold a lot of standards over people because people let you down. Like, if you have standards for people and you expect things from them from meeting them or being with them for 2 years, year 3, 4, 5 could change. People
Right.
change over time. So I don't necessarily have expectations for people anymore. I kind of let people be who they are in their own element so that they're comfortable. Because if we do get married, be comfortable with who you are. Like, don't be an actress up until year 6 and year 7 through eternity. You know, be a whole different person.
I can understand who they are, but I still have a level of expectation.
Right.
Um, some things are just be common courtesy.
Right.
Or so
CT,
I feel you, but
hey, C, do you want to be married?
because
That's a great question. I've said this,
All
I've
right
said
now.
this probably 45,000 times. At this point, no. You
There
Okay.
know,
you go.
Okay.
I don't
Well,
want to
he
Hey,
answer.
honest.
that's
You know what I'm
good.
saying?
That's
That's
honest.
good.
So, you
that
know,
that'll change what you see what
Yeah.
you're able to show
but
somebody too. Because
but
you're not looking for that.
but for my disclaimer is in the relationships at this point in my life, I'm not ready to be married. So it's not like I'm wasting people's time if we're dating. You see what I'm saying?
But
So
are you telling them that?
That I
that
was
was
just
my
about to ask.
I just said that's my disclaimer. I say my disclaimer. You know
Oh,
what I'm saying?
okay.
I
So
don't
you
come
tell them.
into it
Okay.
wasting people's time. So I come with a disclaimer. You know what I'm saying? Like, we dating at this point in time. You know, I'm not ready to be married, so that person not coming into a situation looking for something, because
Yeah.
I'm not gonna rush into anything I'm not comfortable with. You know what I'm saying? You might be in that stage in your life, like meet a dude, boom, 3 years, we jump in the broom, but that's not something that I'm, you know what I'm saying, looking forward to. So that's my disclaimer.
Well, why? Why
But
aren't you
see,
looking
Yeah, I hate
forward?
you
that you
just
say that.
haven't
I'm not
met the
looking
right
forward to.
woman to make you want to change. Because if you really
Now
want to
hold on,
change,
Dr. Phil, because I'm telling you, I ain't the only person out there that feel this way. Like I said,
I feel the
I've
same way. I ain't
yeah,
gonna lie.
I've been. That's what I'm telling you. So I'm trying to express myself seriously. I ain't trying to be a goofy guy right now. So like I said, I've been in a situation where things have got serious, where it has crossed over to engagement. Didn't work out. This came crashing down twice. So now it's a point where, you know, okay, God will let you do your thing. I'm gonna be free spirit. I'm just kind of, you know, let it go with the flow. But like I said, there's a disclaimer that comes with me. So
Hey,
I
hey,
tell you
C,
up
and not
front.
hey, not to belabor it, but I like this because I when you give that disclaimer, can you recall a time where somebody just fell back immediately?
No, and see that's my thing. So
that's
so
it.
That's
I'm
because we have a
so
habit of thinking we can change somebody's mind.
Yeah, that's
Exactly.
the only thing.
absolutely. You
Yeah.
think you can come in, I'm gonna do this for him and do all
He
this,
gonna
but
change
no,
his mind. He gonna
But
want to
see,
marry me.
absolutely.
now
I
we
remember,
as women, that's where we go wrong at, because if a man really want to be with you, they're gonna make the change. They're gonna do the change.
I keep
Like,
telling people, stop trying to build a bear, man. Let people be who they're gonna be. Like it's not up to you to change a person. Yeah, you can try to save someone, but it don't always work out that way. So you know what I'm saying. Some people
Right.
are successful with it, but it don't work for everybody.
I think it goes both ways when it comes to people thinking that they can try and change somebody's mind about something, because you even have that's why you have the dudes in the DMs that you be like, nah, I'm not interested, and they still come back a year later still talking to you in their DMs by themselves. So I mean, you
Yeah.
have like people that decide that they just, I don't know what it is in people's brain that make them think that they can change somebody's perspective on things, when like Pecan Tan said, it's kind of one of those things that is internal for you, for yourself. You gotta want that change for yourself. You gotta want to be like, you know what, I'm ready to be somebody's husband. Because I always run into a man that will say, oh, I'm looking for a wife, but are you looking for to be somebody's husband? See,
Mm.
we people fail to forget it's two people involved in this relationship. And
yeah,
I'm not for the one that, I know I give off wife energy, which is cool, but you're not gonna only benefit from this relationship.
That's the thing. That's what I'm saying. Like some people come into a situation looking for a MF to take care of them, bro. Like, no,
Right.
man, it's 50-50. Like it's a team, it's a business, all that. So if
uh-huh.
you just looking
No.
for somebody, hey, to take care of you, then hey, you know what I'm saying, you already done lost.
Right.
Well, I know from experience. I was a little player before I met Ronnie.
No, don't.
Baby, I stopped cold
We
turkey.
ain't think
I
that at all.
cold turkey for that country boy. For that
She
did,
said
baby.
she cooked the whole
I
turkey for that
called
country
him in
boy.
and told him, don't call me no more. Got my number changed.
Oh man.
So you can't change for a person, because he was ready and I was too. And he was doing things that I never had done before. So
Hey, look. And that's the thing. Like, I don't know if it's like something that I know for, at least for me, I don't require things from people, but you know, at some point, it's like one of my friends told me, just because you don't require the world doesn't mean that they shouldn't be giving you the world.
Mhm.
If they are truly invested in you and want to be with you, and that's the same goes for men. That's the same thing for the women. Like, if a woman is not trying to give you the world, you might need to rethink that situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think Visa hit it on the head when he said, she already exemplimented those qualities ahead of time. She already, you know, showed him that, hey, I got your back, baby. I got you. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what anybody that, we just all want somebody to have our back.
I really do feel like two genuine people together are always gonna work out. It's
Yeah.
always gonna one is not being genuine. There's always gonna be a disconnect. You know what I'm saying? But the problem is so many bots out here, so many automatic pilot people that you don't get you don't come across genuine people on a regular basis. You know what I'm
No.
saying?
Right.
I think that's the
very
one of the difficult things about dating is that people are just not really themselves, and
Yeah.
they playing a role.
Yeah. So shit, until you get to them little wave of people who fake it or trying to be who you think that they want you to be, shit, you gonna continuously keep looking. You know what I mean? That's why it's like the easiest thing in life for real right now is to just figure your shit out. And then once you got you figured out, you're gonna see the truth instantly through any and everybody.
Right.
yeah.
Um, Sorry, y'all. I was trying to respond to somebody in the comments. My bad. Um, but yeah, so like I know as far as like when it comes to certain requirements, like before you select a person, do you have like certain qualifications they have to meet in order for you to even attain them in the first place?
But when you say select a person, like it just sounds so
Like a game show.
I mean, it's what it is. You shopping, baby. You shopping.
Oh,
But I also
what
feel
aisle
like
you
that's what
on?
makes it scary because there's so many options out here. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
it's like picking the wrong. It's like especially with this day and age of marriage, like in the Western Coast concept of marriage. You know, the only reason we believe what we believe because we was born at. Like if we was in India somewhere, we would have niggas would have 7 wives, and it's okay. That's the standard.
And I'm so glad you said
You
that
know
because
what I mean?
I'm so open to the idea now, and I'm just open to the idea of this
Poly,
pilot.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, when it really start making sense, it make you really realize like we kind of brainwashed to believe what we believe.
Because I'm telling you, I'm thinking the way that I see it is through the eyes of not just love and relationships and people going not 9 times out of 10, 7 times out of 10, somebody's gonna always have somebody else anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm thinking of it as a financial standpoint and just
facts.
Yeah.
It's a team. We got a little village going on. We got a little tripod situation. We holding up where one person is slacking that. You might be tired today. All right, we're gonna go. You know what I mean? And it's like, but that goes into communication and overall understanding that we, first of all, we don't possess anybody. So once we get into a relationship deep enough, we start feeling like we own this person or we feel right and indebted to this person. At the end of the day, it's always still just a commitment or it's still just an agreed upon terms of agreements where basically, all right, I'm gonna decide to only be with you. But if we figure out how to make us work together as a collective, then there's no need to have to bicker and fight and make things more difficult than what it is. You know what I mean? Then it's like we really don't even have a true understanding of what marriage is for the most part. You know what I mean? Like even when marriage in the Western civilization first came around, it was really just more a fact of my family's gonna be married into your family. Now we are a collective group of a family or of a people, you know what I'm saying? But now we getting married for just to say we got to put a ring on it, you know what I mean? And it's like it's kind of getting thrown off nowadays where you got so many options, you know what I'm saying? And you got so many different characteristics with different people that we don't even really know what we want no more.
Well, and you know what though? To that AV, and that's the difficult part I can imagine for people who are single out here who really do want something. The main problem is the distractions. Mm-hmm. How many of y'all went to college?
Yeah.
Anybody? Okay. I never went to school. I never went to college, but I can imagine how intense, some of the work could have been, some of the papers you had to write and things like that. It gives me the heebie-jeebies. That's why I didn't go. But when you had to focus on writing a 20-some-odd page paper or whatever you had to do, what did you do? You had to eliminate distractions.
You don't want me to tell the truth.
Right. Well, you know what I'm saying? Like in theory, in order for this thing to get done, you had to limit certain distractions. You had to keep yourself like focused on the goal. Mm-hmm. Well, I just believe that when we want to be in relationships with people, we don't keep that same energy. Look, me and her, we took a fast from social media when we got together because I knew for a fact that with I was always popular. So I didn't have TikTok yet, but I had Facebook, Instagram, all this stuff, thousands of followers, all this and that, women, you can imagine. I had to get off of that because I didn't want myself to get caught up in the distractions as I'm identifying somebody who I feel like I can be with, like I'm supposed to be with. Because I can sit here honestly and say that if had I not done that, I could have easily got caught up in somebody's trap. Right. I could have easily like turned my head in multiple directions and missed out on something that was for me. So I had to take the onus on myself and say, I gotta fall back all this stuff if I want to build this. And I feel like that's one of the things that people either don't think about doing or aren't willing to do, where you got to just take a step back, focus on who's in front of you instead of always saying, I don't want to put all my eggs in that basket. Mm-hmm. Okay, well, if you just want to date everybody, just say that.
Say that, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, just say that. Like, just say you are out here, you dating multiple people, you are well within your right to do so, and that's it. But if you come to, because the CT point, I can respect what he said. He said, look, if I'm upfront and honest out the gate, basically what he's saying is whatever comes of that, and if you don't like what comes of that because you attach feelings to me or whatever, it's not going to be on me because I made myself clear. People love to believe that they have full control over their emotions. We do not.
Right.
We don't. Like that's why we look. 21 Savage got a video is going crazy with him and J. Cole sitting in the studio talking, and I saw it on TikTok yesterday. and what he was talking about was like falling in love is one of the only things that you cannot see coming.
Right.
Like you literally wake up feeling like, oh snap, like, this is what it is.
Yeah.
Right. And when it can hit you like that, you kind of have to be prepared one way or the other.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Like, and again, if you don't want any parts of that, you have to, like CT say, make yourself clear up front, you know what I mean? So that your counterpart has their clear understanding. Now, what they decide to do with that information is on them, because I kept it real with you. You know what I mean? But on the flip side, if you are going to be intentional about being with somebody, you got to carry out those intentions. And sometimes it takes sacrifice. Sometimes it takes being a little bit uncomfortable. It's going to take a little bit of work. And I feel like a lot of people right now just don't want to put in the work, even if they know that having a partner might be something that they actually need, but they don't feel like working for it.
But you know what? And I'm gonna tell you, to point to somebody else's comment about distractions are everywhere. So you can go to this grocery store and get the same type of feedback that you get on social media. It's the lies that get people in trouble. It's people not being open and transparent about what their true intentions are. And I think that that's where we run into the disconnect, because you have so many people that and I see this a lot. You'll have a woman that will give you everything that you saying you want. Like, as far as a man may be like, okay, you know what? I just want to sleep around. You know what I'm saying? But instead of him going for the woman that is like, okay, yeah, I want to sleep around too, you'll go to somebody that is looking for an actual relationship and try to chase them down. For the very thing you could have just went to the lady for. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so we run into that, all too often. I've had people that, I would simply tell them, like, I'm not looking for a good time. Like, if I wanted a good time, I know who I can call. Which another thing, what we don't discuss. We got them in the Rolodex now.
They in the tub. They in the tub.
Whether or not we're gonna use it.
That's right.
So that, in itself, people don't understand. Like, it's all about what your true intentions are. You can't sit here and, I don't care how much social media I go on. Like, I tell people all the time, like, I even had to recently tell a guy this, because he tried to base an assumption based on his experience here in Atlanta, that I was this type of woman where I was entertaining multiple guys. And I'm like, baby, if I wanted to use you, it wouldn't have been you that I would have selected. So let's get that clear. You know how many offers I get on a daily? You know how many people that will randomly send me money if I needed it, or if I wanted it, or if I don't even have to say I need or want something. They'll just say, yeah, you know what? I want to bless you today. Just simply because I talk to people on social media. I don't even know these people. It's just that sometimes people can see a genuine spirit and decide, hey, look, I want to do something to brighten her day or whatever. And so that's why I had to explain to that person, like, if I wanted to use somebody, it wouldn't have been you, baby.
That's facts.
So I think that's where a lot of people just don't, it's finding that I guess that happy medium. I did want to reference a question that earlier Ashley Davis asked. Guys, are y'all actually telling these women what you don't want? And if you're looking for a relationship, I guess it don't really pertain to you, CT, but what you do, what you don't like in past relationships. Because I know us women will sit there all day. Well, such and such used to do this to us, and we don't like this, so this is a non-negotiable. I know
your audience do me so bad on here,
because if I tell you what I don't like, and that's something that you do, you're gonna pretend. So I'd rather just let you figure me out.
Yeah. See, I don't like. That's what I'm saying, man. Like, why you gotta come into it? I don't like this, that. I like this, that. Like, no, a relationship. The fun part is the mystery, man. Like, you ain't gotta come to it with a whole scroll of instructions. No, I ain't trying to put a bed together, bro. I'm trying to date somebody. So you know what I'm saying? That's just like the fun part about dating to me is to figure out who the hell the person is.
Right.
If you're gonna come to the table saying this me right here, I ain't trying to watch the movie. You gave me the cliff notes.
Right. If you know,
I get it.
as a single mother, if you're gonna give a disclaimer, the first thing is gonna be my children come first. Like that's something that you would do. But just to tell somebody like, oh, my favorite color is purple, and I don't drink on Sunday, but I drink. You don't give, you know what I'm saying? It's like you said, you allow somebody to get the opportunity to get to know you.
Right. Well, no, I mean, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say, y'all seen those movies when they have the people that are dating in the beginning, they sitting at the table, they drinking, asking all them questions back and forth. Like y'all don't find that, you know, kind of, what's the word? Visa, help me out. You got the big words, man. Help me out. What the word I'm looking for? Like y'all find that kind of mundane or monotonous or gray.
I ain't gonna lie. You got a point there, and I ain't gonna lie. Dating can be exhausting, and I told people I just don't want to go through the whole monotony of dating. Like, you know, what happened to I like you, you like me, let's just have fun and see what
Why you can't you can't write the note no more and throw it at the person in the back of the head in school, you know? Never mind.
Yeah, do you like me? Yes, no, maybe. But yeah, no, I think, you know, yeah, I honestly, I see what you're saying, CT, but at the very least, I tell people what I don't like because of the simple fact, if I give you the blueprint as far as that part is concerned, you can find out all my life, you know, based on getting to know me. But if I tell you, hey, this is a deal breaker for me, like this is what ain't about to go down, and you still do it anyway.
But if you tell somebody I don't like this, and they just make up in their mind they want to date you anyway, and that might be one of the things that they do. They're gonna hide that for so long. They're gonna at least pretend that they don't because they want to date you.
So, yeah, I tell you about them actresses and actors.
Right. You when you come in with the I don't like this, I don't like that, you calling in the people that know how to pretend well.
Okay, I'm glad you said that. So you come in with all them instructions. You giving them a cheat sheet to be like, well, shit, I can't tell her I do this. And then 7 years you do that, and then she find out. So you know what I'm saying, Jeff? Let me shut up.
But guess what? It you know what it helps me do? It makes me make a sound decision to know that, oh, you ain't it. Because if you still choose to do it anyway,
that's not necessarily true though. Because
I agree with Alex on that. Like,
when you get to know somebody, you said this yourself. When you get to know somebody, even though it's a big thing for you, it's a big you don't like thing for you, it might be a small thing for them to make the adjustment. Is you know what? I really dig her. I really feel her. Let me tighten up. Let me let this part of me go.
Yeah, like pieces. Okay,
back at me. I get it. Okay.
Have people said to you before, don't knock it till you try. Like if you tell somebody like all the instructions you were just saying, and you like you not it. Like have you not had a preconceived notion about something before? And somebody said, "All right, try this," and you try. Like, damn, I was missing out the whole time.
There's a couple things I still ain't trying. I don't give a damn how much they talking about. Don't knock it till you try.
I'm just using that for an example. You know what I'm saying?
Especially when it comes to sexual intimacy, but we'll get to that on pillow talk. But because there's some girls out here doing some things, baby. I'm like, you know what, y'all got it.
Messing with no brown.
You got it, boo.
They went left.
They can have
that's when you bring in that third person.
My husband don't even play back there.
Nah, you can just have that third person.
Wait a minute.
I'm talking the women doing brown rind. I seen a video on Facebook. I'm like, her mom needs to whoop her behind.
I don't know whatever it is.
Oh man, y'all watching West Coast Productions over
there. Not West Coast.
West Coast, they took it back.
Yeah. But yeah,
and them legs kicked up in there.
Whoa.
Ooh, we should tell it on something.
No, she said. Oh man,
I love this show, man. I ain't gonna lie. Oh God, bro. I always have fun on this thing, man.
Look, boy, let me tell y'all. So let me just go ahead and tell y'all what we got coming up. So first of all, let me just say this. Thank y'all for always coming through with the conversation. You know, I really appreciate my panel being on here. Coming up soon, we're gonna have a pop-up pillow talk session. So if you are interested in being involved or on the panel, you have to actually go to my Facebook channel or my YouTube channel, is fine. You have to comment under the advertisement so that I can know to send you the studio link so that you can be a part of the conversation instead of being in the audience.
And Mama, you
Otherwise,
can't
you're just gonna be stuck in the audience, huh?
I just said, and Mama, you can't watch them, and none of my aunties.
She can watch it if she wants.
Yeah, baby, because some of the questions we're gonna have.
She gonna watch.
You just don't want your mama to. No.
She gonna watch. The fact that you told her not to, she gonna watch.
She gonna be surprised by that.
You can't tell her not to. You should say watch it. She probably not watch it, but you told her not to watch it. She gonna watch it.
That knows the thing. She gonna
did
watch
it wrong.
Look, we're gonna definitely have some conversations that might be a little bit much for the older deals, for the more seasoned deals, okay? So but again, if y'all want to be a part of that conversation, feel free to go to my Facebook
Your mama gonna say y'all so nasty.
Comment so that I'll know to send you the studio link. The studio link will go out at least 2 to 3 days prior to the show. And again, you know, if you want to be a part of that conversation, come on, be my guest, because we got some things to talk about. But in aside from that, I do want to thank you guys for tuning in. This has been another good conversation about dating and marriage. And again, till next time, y'all stay sweet. Stay sweet.